Let's get it. Heart throb never.
Neglect and mismanagement of the aged or the aging. I want to briefly talk about this because I know quite a few people who work in retirement homes or skilled nursing facilities. That's what it is, skilled nursing, and they, have the continuous complaint of how there's this vast and perpetual neglect and mismanagement of the older people in there. And it just got me thinking and talking to someone about it. Some of the complaints and stuff that they are identifying is that you have these older people who work all their lives in whatever professions that they in. And they say that, they've got people in there who were former ballerinas, former engineers, former mathematicians, pianists and musicians and scholars, all types of stuff. And then, to age out of the game and have to be in an environment that is not really handling your retirement and your succession into aging as well as you would have maintained yourself. That is diabolical and real irresponsible to me. They talk about how these people, their homes, get sold, and the agency that they're residing in, the skilled facility or the retirement home or whatever it is, they extract all the money from them, give them just a few dollars a month. And, these people are in there basically just waiting to die with a existence that is way lower than the lifestyle that they had built for themselves. And that's what I'm saying. It's a neglect, even an abuse, and a mismanagement. And I wonder if it's because, this country in particular programs people to just think about, having fun all the damn time. Like making you, kind of not be aware that your time is valuable and you don't really have time to be doing a lot of, partying and being lackadaisical and, whatever it is, it's going to stop you from coming up with solid solutions that are going to, allow you to transition into older age in an environment and with the resources that you need to have lived the full, complete, and I guess full is complete, but to live a full and meaningful life with the necessary care that you need as an aged person, because you don't have the strength or the ability to do it anymore. And for America to be, used to be the wealthiest country, but still being one of the wealthiest countries on the planet, to have these types of issues with, receipts from all of the working professionals that work in that field, for America to be in this situation with its aging population and how they are being cared for, this is alarming. Because I'm just concerned with like all the money that's being sent to other places outside the country, all the money that's being used, then, you have people who work all their lives and pay taxes for all types of stuff, but then their care and livelihood in skilled nursing or retirement home or wherever they are, whatever's going on, they don't have enough money to properly be cared for. So depending on how much money you have, that's going to determine the quality of care that you get. But the money that you have they're extracting a lot of money from you as an aged person and giving you bullshit quality and bullshit care. Like, this is something that's going to need to be taken to a federal and legislative level, to really start having some dialogue about this. Just some of the things they talk about. Man, just the way that the people are being cared for. They're not, the alarms in some of the older people rooms are going off. The staff is leaving them, with the alarm just constantly beeping and not checking on them, and the facility residents are complaining about it. The food is terrible. Just all of those things. I don't work in it, but for those of you who do, if you listen to this, all of the complaints, and how you feel about it. If you're a person that cares about that type of thing, then y'all need to get active. You need to get active about how to get this corrected. Because at this point, the younger people don't have the capacity or the finances to properly take care of their aging parents or whatever relative it is, or whoever it is that they're, a loved one to them. It may not be a blood relative, but whoever's whoever's a dear one to them. Nowadays, most people don't have the capacity financially or energy wise to properly care for their aging loved ones. And that's problematic because we have in a system where everybody's talking family and family, but when the people age out, it's just out of sight, out of mind if they can get it done that way. And a lot of times it's like that because people may start off trying to do the, what's the word I'm looking for? They want to do the, not philanthropic, but it's another word that starts with an A. I can't remember it. They want to do the quote unquote right and courageous thing, but then they get burnt out because they don't have the help. They don't have the finances, or the resources to properly care for the person. So they don't have a choice but to let them go into one of these facilities. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, man, like we are in a situation with this country, basically working people, and then when the industry that they work for sees or determines, or the person determines that they can't work for them anymore, or the industry that they work for doesn't need them anymore, you're no good anymore. And then all you have is all that work that you put in, and then you can't even get a comfortable, luxurious one-room spot unless you're paying millions of dollars. Most people ain't gonna have that kind of money. We talking about people who may be getting Medicaid or, man, then they talk about how these systems, take all of the money. It's the way that it's tied up. So I know I'm kind of all over the place, but for those of you listening to this, you know what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of a lot of components to go with it. But I'm just, I have a personal concern with, so this is the way that this is the way we're going to treat our aging population? Or we too busy partying and social media it up, being involved in things that don't really matter, having those long dialogue and conversations about things that aren't really important. But this is one of those things that is important. And it's like, what are we going to do about it? Like, we didn't really create the system, but I'm seeing too many Gen Xers, too many millennials just living in this situation as if they're not going to age at some point. But in the meantime, we looking at an age population, and these people, a lot of times, they don't have nobody to come visit them. Don't have nobody to give them a hug. They don't have nobody to just call them. And, we got all the technology in the world. How hard is it to, on a regular basis, maybe once, twice a week, set them people up with the tablet or something where people can just get on and talk to them and give them a sense of social connectivity? What's so hard about coordinating volunteers to go around to these places and on a weekly basis stop through and talk to these people for a few minutes? It's like when they get in there, some people that they don't have no family, no nothing. And this is how we gonna treat an organism, and I'm saying it this way for a reason. This is how we're gonna treat an organism whose very existence and proper care for well-being is dependent on social interactivity. And we put them in environments and then leave them there with no social interaction. Like, these people are coming from families that they may have had. If they didn't have families and it was just them on their own, they had the ability to travel and, do things that made them happy. But now they're sitting there. A lot of them still have their regular capacitive brain, and they're just sitting there with none of the things that enhance their life. I think American society has fallen into the state of neglect, abuse, and mismanagement of the aging. So this is, a lot more intricate than, me and my, narrations and everything. But it's something to think about. For those people that work in those fields, you got your work cut out for you. But it's going to take some action at a legislative level to start making a change with this. I'm out.
Heart throb never.